smarter than that. I don't know, when you see two MJs or two Horaces in the same class, you get a little suspicious, especially when one has their camera on and the other one doesn't. That's a good question, JJ. Sometimes it's friends doing it to each other because they think it's funny, but it's actually considered bullying by the school rules. And, the school takes bullying pretty seriously. So. All right, well, we are going to go ahead and get started. And if Deshaun, Trey, RN, Memphis, or Yampier join, then they join. Yeah, JJ, so would I. But anyways, today we are talking about irony and then symbolism. I really like irony because sarcasm is my favorite way to communicate with people. So who knows what irony is after I drop that little hint there? Yeah, Kai, tell me what irony is.
I want to tell you
So
that
there are different types of irony. For example, verbal irony, which is something like if someone has to describe a meeting, which was as brief as possible, and then the description needs to be as brief as possible, but it runs longer than the actual meeting to read it.
Exactly. Yep. What's another type of irony, somebody, besides Kai or JJ? Because I've heard from both of them now. JJ, call on somebody to answer the question. Oh, Max saved you. Max, and then Leah. Max, tell me another type of irony.
We said it could be funny. It could also be it could be sad, I guess, like in a way.
Yes. Some irony definitely can be sad. I agree. But sad is not a type of irony. It's a reaction to the ironic situation. Leah.
A descriptive irony be a thing. Like if we were to use even an example, like an everyday, concrete example, if we text someone or we send them an email, most likely would be text messages, like short, quick, and chit chat conversations, where you would use emojis, for example, or
So
different
that's
sorts of things.
That's more so symbolism rather than irony. Here's Marta. Yes, absolutely. There's verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony, right? Verbal irony is like what Kai told us earlier, when somebody says the opposite of what they mean. There's situational irony, where the outcome is the opposite of what you would expect. And there's dramatic irony, where that only applies to literature or TV shows, any type of fictional universe, because that's when the audience knows something that the characters don't. Yeah. I'm going to play a song for you guys. Has anybody ever heard Ironic by Alanis Morissette? No? Awesome. I've had mixed reactions so far from the classes previously. Some of them have loved it, and some of them have absolutely hated it. So let's see what you guys are. And try to write down some examples of irony. All right, I'm going to have the lyrics pulled up.
An old man turned 98. He won the lottery Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon. It's too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Life is a funny burrito, singing about you and you think everything's okay and everything's going right. And life is a funny burrito, nobody halfway, I think everything's going wrong and everything blows up in your face. The traffic jam when you're already late. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? And yeah, life is a funny way of sneaking up on you. And life is a funny, funny way of helping you out, helping you out.
Right. So apparently some of you have been hearing your classmates sing parts of this song today, which is yeah. Yep. When all you can find are like forks and you're just like, no, I don't need a fork. Especially if you need a fork later and then you go back and there are no more forks and you're just like, of course. Why wouldn't that work? Why wouldn't that happen? Yeah, irony within irony is definitely especially funny. I agree. What are some examples of irony from the song besides the 10,000 spoons? "98-year-old winning the man, then dying, rain on your wedding day." Well, isn't this nice? Yep. Verbal irony. Meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. Yep. A traffic jam when you're late. Yeah. The man who was afraid to fly, he finally takes a flight and then it crashed. paying for a ride, and then they're like, "Congratulations, the ride is on the house," and you're like, "Well, dang, of course." Basically, any situation that makes you just like do this or go, of course it is. Yeah, that's irony. No smoking sign on your cigarette break. Yep. Yeah, Kai.
Like, is tragic irony included in dramatic irony?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not considered its own type of irony because it's usually the result of an ironic situation. Like, if have any of you guys read Romeo and Juliet before? Like when Juliet fakes her death, so Romeo ends his life with poison. And you're like, no, why didn't you just communicate with each other better? Yeah, that's tragic, dramatic irony. Right. What are some other examples of irony that not necessarily that were in the song, just other examples of irony that you can think of? Yeah, JJ, poor communication is a pretty big thing in Romeo and Juliet all throughout. One example of irony that I thought of is like a firehouse burning down. What else can y'all think of? Yeah, a water park being flooded. Yep, a water park or aquarium being flooded. That's definitely irony. A person being trapped in a zoo. Come on, those of you who are not answering, I'm going to call on you if you don't put something in the chat. I'm going to call on you for a much harder questions. Yeah, when people in movies are like, yeah, they're right behind me, aren't they? Yep. I already said that, Connor. Be original. Come on. A dentist with cavities. Yep.
Wait, I just got one just now.
What?
So essentially, I tried to correct myself on misspelling aquarium, but I ended up misspelling the correction. So I ironically,
Yeah. Or correcting somebody else's spelling, but then spelling it wrong. I don't know if y'all know Kyler and Jamie in y'all's grades, but you know they're friends, so they tease each other a lot. Kyler was trying to call Jamie ridiculous by saying, "Oh, we have a Shakespeare over here," but he misspelled Shakespeare. Irony. The Titanic being unsinkable, the unsinkable ship, and then it sank. Yep. I don't think a car without seatbelts would be ironic, Horace. That would just be unsafe. Apparently, a lot of people didn't know that the Titanic was based on like a real event, like the movie. A police station getting robbed. Yes, Noel. What about from Electra? What about from what we're reading right now? I can think of an example of dramatic irony. When fireproof things catch on fire. Yep, that's ironic. Or when unbreakable things break. In Electra, we have an example of dramatic irony. That's already happened, Leah. So the one I was thinking of from Electra um, is yes, Max. Max is excited.
Her brother.
Her brother, yes. The audience knows her brother is faking his death. Right? The audience was there when Orestes was talking about his plan to tell everybody he was dead. Electra doesn't know that. Electra thinks Orestes is dead. Right? So that would be an example of dramatic irony. I guess so, Kai. All right. So do we kind of understand irony? It was just a kind of a quick review. But yeah, Clemenstra doesn't know that her kids are planning to enact revenge. We do, though. When a tow truck needs a tow truck, exactly. Okay, good. So we got irony. Now let's move on to symbolism. What is symbolism? Waterproof objects destroyed by water. What is symbolism? We're moving on from irony now. Yeah, when something, usually an object, represents something else, like a larger idea. For example, yeah, a red rose equals love or romance, or the country, the flag of a country, might represent freedom or peace, or whatever. The American flag represents freedom and bravery for us Americans, right? For example, a dove representing peace. Exactly. Can you guys think of any symbols that we've seen so far in Electra? This is kind of a hard one. Yeah, 13 stripes on the American flag to represent the first 13 colonies. Exactly. Did anybody think of any from Electra? The gods? What do the gods symbolize?
Most likely her sense of view of justice and also the power that her mother might hold over her. And then
Yes,
trying to
justice
get
and
back at
power.
her with religious power and such.
Exactly. Yeah. The gods represent justice and power. All right. What else? I came up with a little list. Just because, like I said, it's a little bit hard to pick out some of the symbols in Electra. Her sister represents loyalty to an extent, yeah.
Because like even though she won't like completely agree with the way like her mother as a ruler like abuses her power, she still like doesn't seek revenge against her
Mhm.
and her lover. So because like even though her sister Electra, wants to seek revenge for the fact that she killed her father, there is some sense there where you can see that instead, because I mean her mother did it in revenge because her husband killed her daughter. So, but Electra is petrified and she's trying to get revenge against her mother. But because of all this family drama, they that's where her sister like decides not. I forget her name, but like I remember her name, but just like a long name to pronounce. But like she just like wants to like kind of like just seeks like not fairness, but almost just like not get involved or not getting like in each other's paths and just like
Or passivity, maybe. Which is like
hmm
the passivity is like trying not to cause fights.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to try to
Yeah, the
cause like
not.
conflicts in the family, trying to kind of keep like the peace. There's like another
Yep.
word for that. I'm trying to think of it. I'll type in the chat once I have it.
Yeah, definitely, Maya. The knot. Electra talks about the knot a lot. She talks about the knot that's tied inside her and how she's going to unravel it. It's her desire for revenge that she's going to take. The unraveling of the knot is taking revenge. Yes, Aiden, absolutely. She's a symbol of grief, of revenge, and loyalty, for sure. She also mentions the nightingale all the time. She compares herself to a nightingale. What is the nightingale a symbol of? You guys know? It's Electra's whole thing. What does Electra do all the time? Grief, lamenting, mourning, exactly. That's what the nightingale is a symbol of. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into VR. You're going to get into 5 groups of 3. Okay? You're gonna build the scene where Electra and Orestes are plotting revenge against their mother. All right? You are going to include 3 symbols. Make them fairly obvious because your classmates, as we're going around, your classmates are going to fill out a Google form saying which symbols your group used and what they think they might represent. All right? Sound good to everybody? Awesome. Let's head into VR then.
Off for some people. Do not be offended if it's you. It's a little bit random right now, but at least one person in your group will have IFXs. What's up? You're good. Aiden. I'm going to trust you to join Aiden's group. Go ahead. Yes, Marta.
Max was probably right. He said it was something about the mom, but I thought we were doing irony with the mom, and he thought we were doing symbolism with the mom.
Yeah,
so
it's symbolism.
Max was more
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Make sure to tell him. I don't think he hears that very often. What's up, Horace? Huh? Ask your group. See if your group knows, and if your group doesn't know, I'll come over there and explain it to all of you again, okay?
Oh yeah. We're building some kind of symbol. I don't know if it's from Electra or what. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go ask her.
Yeah. All right. You're going to be the only one of my suspects from last week that has IFX, just so you know. So
Oh,
do with
okay.
that information what you will.
All right.
Is your group confused? Your whole group?
Yeah. Are we
All right.
doing
Yeah.
a symbol from Electra or like?
Yes. So let's go over here and I'll explain it so Connor can hear too.
I think he went to the bathroom. That's what he said.
Okay. So what you guys are doing, you are building the scene where Electra and Orestes are plotting revenge against their mother. All right? You are going to include 3 symbols from Electra. They can be ones we've talked about so far. You have a good list in the chat. Or if you think of any new ones, you can include those too. All right? Make them kind of obvious though, because your classmates are going to go on a type of scavenger hunt for the symbols that your group came up with. All right? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. If you have any other questions, come let me know.
Yeah. What? I can't hear. No. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have the 26 hours. I'm gonna go look at the scene really quick.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, first we have to pick 3 symbols to represent. We have to pick 3 symbols to represent. Sorry, I
But
was gonna pick
three,
symbols.
3 stones?
3 symbols
A
from
symbol.
Electra. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I didn't actually go check. I'm just looking at the symbols. And she didn't tell us what page, so. Okay.
Hello.
Why not?
All right, I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm fine. I'm back.
I
Oof.
I
just
am
happened?
going to give you boys IFXs. You are two people I am slightly suspicious of, just based on what some of your other teachers have told me.
Okay,
Okay?
I think
Um,
I know what teacher, maybe, but
Uh-huh.
I don't really know.
You
Oh,
probably do.
yeah.
It's the teachers whose class you act up in. So, you know.
Never did anything out
There
there.
was
Remember?
I
yeah,
had
I'm not gonna speak on
one
it.
incident.
I have my own
I had one
opinions about
incident
it,
with the
but
history teacher, but I don't know if that was
that was a
it
You
complete
know,
history.
you
misunderstanding.
were the second person who told me the history teacher. He is the Mr. Thompson has not told me anything. He has not told me about any people he
Really?
suspects.
Dang.
So
All
who's
right. I don't
suspecting
know what other
something? Is
teacher it
Resto?
could be, because
Yeah,
It's
I
I've
don't
been
know
fine
who's
with all my
saying
other
that.
teachers
well,
personally,
it's
on my
teachers
side.
saying that maybe you mess around. Not necessarily that you're doing like inappropriate things,
Oh.
but that you've been messing around more than you're supposed to.
Then I
Well,
think I
we
might know who
work
it is.
until we're done, and then when we're done, we like talk
Yeah.
and giggle. But
I
that's it.
really don't know.
And
Okay,
if
well,
there
I'm
are
going to be
things that
trusting you.
There will be no
okay,
incident.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Connor.
May I please have IFX powers?
I bet you.
I am suspicious of you
Wait,
for having
really?
IFX
what
powers.
are those pillars called? So I can get
Really?
some.
I just looked
feedback.
up pillar.
Yes.
It's grease pillar.
Well,
If I give you IFX, you have to promise me that you're not going to
I'll
do
do
anything with
grease,
them.
'cause
promise.
Oh, this is
Okay.
should we do an arch?
All right. Yes,
Marta?
Horace.
Should we do an arch for like an entry type thing? You know, like a. Alright.
So there's not a specific page number. You're building the scene. You're just building like what you think the scene would look like based on what you know about the characters so far. Yeah. It's not like a specific scene. That's why everybody's scenes look so different. Yep, the main focus today is just on the symbolism. So focus heavily on the symbols. The scene is just mostly for fun. Yep. No problem.
Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, so I guess we're just building
Well,
like a random
well,
scene.
what scene are we building now so we can all just build the same thing? Efficient.
She said it's not a specific scene. We just had to build one where Orestes and Electra are taking their revenge.
So I'll just follow along with you're doing your art stuff.
I looked it up, and you have to like show where they're going to the palace.
Could you repeat that, please? Could you repeat that, please?
Who has an AI?
I
Put
see
them
your
away. They're talking to all of us. Thank you. All right, guys, go ahead and take a snapshot of what you have so far. You'll have more time tomorrow to work on this before we do our scavenger hunts. So take a snapshot of what you have so far and go back to teams. snapshot what you have so far and go back to teams. Snapshot what you have so far and go back to teams. I'm deleting all IFXs in 10 seconds, so snapshot what you have. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deleting them now. Back to teams, guys. Back to teams. Remember, you'll have time to build tomorrow. Don't worry. Back to teams.
Right. So first of all, I'm impressed with the behavior today. It has improved drastically. So good job on that one. I'm glad you liked it. We are going to be doing a lot of building in my class, which means it is essential that you continue this good behavior so we can continue to all have IFX privileges. All right? Everybody agree with that? It's more fun when everybody has IFX privileges. Okay. If you don't have any questions, you are all good to go, and I will see you tomorrow. If you have questions, feel free to stay back and ask them. Yes, Kai.